Good morning, this is Sarah, your healthy carnivore in the UK. Before I launch into my topic that I would like to talk about today with you, I'm going to give you a 1-minute channel update, so you only have to wait 1 minute to get to the topic. My name is Sarah, I live in the UK, I've been in the carnivore space for 10 years. My journey has been bumpy, one reason or another, and now, earlier this year, I committed to absolutely doing it forever. Never ever going to stop doing carnivore diets. It is now my thing forever. I also believe I'm now becoming fat adapted. It's taken me 4 months to become fat adapted, and I believe now weight losses are going to happen. Saturday or Sunday, this week it's going to be Sunday. Sunday 1st of December is going to be a weigh-in, and that will be when I confirm whether or not it looks like I'm now fat adapted. So check in my video on Sunday the 1st of December in the afternoon, and you'll find out if my feelings are correct. I've got all the signs. Tick, 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 and then I will do another video on fat adaptation, and this is where I am with my weight. For those of you who are waiting to hear, I'm trying to cut down my hours at work, and I've gone over a minute. I'm going to do it. It's going to be 1.5 minutes, okay? And then I'm going to talk about it. I haven't had a decision from my management team at work, so I'm optimistic. I think there's a 90% chance my hours are going to be very slightly reduced, but I'm still going to upgrade my channel with or without the help of my employer. If I don't get my hours reduced, I just have to find a different way of doing it. Okay, so that's my channel and my journey in a nutshell. We're now at 1.5 minutes, and I'm going to tell you about why she was never vegan. Why she was never vegan. And you know why? Because she was never vegan. I've never been vegan in my life. I've done a video on this about 18 months ago. Don't really recommend you watching it because it's rubbish. But for nearly 49 years, I have never had a single day without meat. So she was never vegan. Possibly a bit clickbaity in the title, but I want to talk about why I could never personally be vegan. Now, in the 90s, I worked in a vegetarian shop. Not many people know this because I don't really talk about it that much. It just pops into my head now and then. When I think about being vegan, well, I don't think about planning to be vegan, but when I think about the vegan plant-based diet, I remember my time working in a health food shop in the 90s from 1991 to 1995, between the age of 15 and 19. And I remember my time there fondly. I was good at my job. I was quite confident even then as a person. And I used to, but what we sold was mostly gut-wrecking anti-nutrients and supplements. That is basically what we sold. But what I found really interesting when I look back on that journey was that not a single product was labelled up as vegan. I would like to challenge people on this. Now, I have a fantastic person following my channel. She is so funny. She is Daphne Reloaded. Check out her channel. She's great. She hasn't made as many videos recently, but her previous stuff is still on her channel. Watch it. She's great. I've been following her channel forever, and I know that she used to be vegan, and she used to be one of these people that were doing vegan before the word came out into public. And many of you watching this now probably think, well, I think the word vegan has already been always a thing. I think it's always been a thing, and I would like to say I don't think so. Because the shop I worked in was a health food shop, which is a bit of an oxymoron considering it only sold anti-nutrients and supplements. But it was a vegetarian shop, and people knew it as the vegetarian shop in the village. But not one single product was ever labelled with the word vegan. And I would remember something like that. I've got the sort of brain that would remember things like that. So we sold horrible things like giant bags of textured vegetable protein and huge massive bags of nuts. We also sold dried fructose, and we were selling it as a healthy sugar. I was only 15 when I started there. I had no idea that fructose is connected up with fatty liver. But at the time we were selling that, but we were mostly selling supplements. And the people that came to our shop were, not in all cases, but in many cases, lunatics. Many of them were very pale, many of them were very thin, all needing supplements. many women came in looking for female supplements, the sort of supplements that help to grow your hair, skin and nails, and also supplements that support your thyroid. So they're all pretty messed up. But then I look at these millennials nowadays that do this vegan diet. Most people that start a vegan diet these days are normally somewhere probably between 16 and 26, from my experience. And I think they think that the vegan diet has always been a thing. Now, there were some reason I mentioned Daphne Reloaded is because there are some people that were not having the dairy products, but it really wasn't a thing. And I don't think it's really become a thing until very recently. I mean, for those of you that anything over the age of 40, how long have we really had these plant-based processed foods laden with seed oils in our supermarkets, really? 10 years? I don't know when the actual word vegan was actually invented, but I don't, it's in my opinion that in the 90s, if you probably just considered yourself a really ultra strict vegetarian, plant-based, just didn't eat any animal products at all. I don't think the word vegan was really a thing, and there's probably a tiny population that were actually doing that. But people that came in did look very sickly most of the time. But because all these products we were working in a shop that was seen as a health food shop, I thought I was selling really healthy stuff to these people. So not only have I been a slimming consultant and recommended low fat, I've also worked in a health food shop selling vegetarian foods, but I forgive myself because I was only there between the age of 15 and 19. But why personally can I not be vegan now? Why have I never been vegan myself? I think I just intuitively knew from a very young age that I was always going to eat meat every single day. She's never been vegan because she partially grew up with a grandmother who was married to a butcher. My grandfather was a butcher who ate extreme amounts of meat, and it was all very fatty and it's all very yummy, and my grandmother was incredibly healthy. And I knew that the reason that she was so healthy was because she walked a lot, she never saw the doctor, she would not take a pill for anything, and she ate loads and loads of butter and fatty meat. And I've taken this legacy from her. She passed away in 1998, and I've taken this and run with it. Never ever, not even for one day, considered not eating the correct food for humans. And then obviously 2014 came along, and I discovered that actually not only was meat safe, it was red meat is the most healthiest food you can eat on the planet. But there's no profit in healthy people, is there? There is no profit in healthy people. So they're going to do whatever it takes to make people scared of red meat. And they have done whatever it takes, and it's working. Red meat consumption has gone through the floor compared to what it was. But disease is gone through the roof. Diabetes skyrocketing, cancer skyrocketing, heart disease skyrocketing. But they're blaming it on the red meat that people are not eating. But let's look at the health benefits I've had from going completely plant-free. Okay, let's look at that for a minute. These days, most humans walking around are mostly plant-based. So even the ones that are not vegetarian or vegan, they're still mostly plant-based. They're still eating between 80 and 90% plants, processed foods, sugars, seed oils. But of course, it was definitely the meat causing all your disease. All you have to do is cut that last little bit of rotting meat out of your colon, and you're going to be super healthy. Or maybe give up all the things that were making up the majority of your diet and see if it really was the meat. And that's what I decided to do in 2014. Okay, I've had a bumpy journey. I know I've not been perfect. I've never once claimed to be anything special or perfect. I'm just someone who's now made the ultimate commitment. So 20 years from now, I'm going to be making videos saying I've been a carnivore for 20 years, provided we're still allowed to have these channels, by the way. But since being just meat-based, I have reversed all the things they say meat causes. Blood sugars in normal range, perfect triglycerides, perfect HDL, perfect blood pressure, no medication whatsoever. A thyroid that I think was running pretty much okay, but Every day that passes now, it's going to be running better and better and better. I'm now losing weight as well, I believe. We'll find out on Sunday if that's really true, but I'm suspicious. I've got my BDI on. I think I'm fat adapted, but we will find out whether that's true. No joint pain, no gastritis, no psoriasis, no plantar fasciitis, no brain fog, no depression, anxiety, which all runs in my family, by the way. I've managed to avoid all the surgery my mother had up until now. My mother ate a lot of plant-based, and she ate a lot of highly processed. Full disclosure, she was also a smoker, but because of that, she ate very, 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 very poor quality food and believed the low-fat message, didn't like to eat any fat, and her whole body imploded. Literally. And right at the end, it really did all implode, and it was a horrible sight. And I don't want to end up like her. And when I see the health benefits, the list goes quite long actually. I haven't got it with me in the car. This is the car that my son took out rallying, and he wanted to remove every bit of weight. True story, this. I don't even have any tissues in the car. and my list of health, I have sneaked one thing back in. This is going to annoy him, right? This is going to annoy him. Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Oh. He took my trumpets out the car. I used to have a trumpet in there like this. Yes. What day are we on? What day are we on? Oh, let me think. It was 125. I'm losing count of my days. 125 days on Saturday. 126. 128 days, is that right? Does that sound right to you? Does that sound okay to you? I think we could be on 128 days. I've gone over 4 months. I have started losing weight, and I feel incredible. So let's blow my own trumpet for a moment. Brilliant. That's now back in the car so that I can blow it every time I have something exciting to tell you. But why can't she be vegan? Why was she never vegan? Because she didn't want to be. Because she thought it was ludicrous. No offense to anyone that's tried it. We've all had the same messages thrown at us. Eat your veggies, eat your veggies. Eat your veggies on CBeebies, that BBC, biased, brainwashing corporation. Other words are available for the C word at the end. Meat the veggies, meat the veggies. All this bullshit. Even if you don't get any that, even if you manage to find a vegetable that hasn't been sprayed to death with pesticides, it's still got all the natural pesticides inside. So we were all, 10 years ago, I believed. 10 years ago, I believed in a balanced diet, everything in moderation. A little bit of what you fancy does you good. And it's only really been this year that I've started to take the seed oils really seriously. I'm back to 3 months on that, by the way. But we were all misled into thinking, and 99% of people walking around in this Western world do still believe that veggies are absolutely essential for us. So, of course, if they're that brilliantly healthy, then of course eating all of it, and only that, must be super healthy for you, right? But she worked it out. She worked it out over a series of events. When you get someone that's a little bit controversial like me, who's got some slightly controversial opinions, it didn't just happen overnight. It was a series of events that changed my perception on the world. And some people are just immune to the constant brainwashing. Obviously, I was brainwashed until 10 years ago. And then I allowed myself to decode myself from the brainwashing. And some people are capable of doing that and are okay to do that. It takes a bit of work. But what I'm trying to say is, if I've had all these health benefits, if I fix things that they say were caused by meat by just eating meat, do you think she's ever going to go vegan? Do you think anyone should be? I do not believe that humans are herbivores. I absolutely do not believe it. And 10 years of looking into this just cements it. And I look at all kinds of information. But you just got to do your own N=1 experiment. Eat your meat just for 30 days. Eat your meat just for 60 days. Eat your meat for 70, 90, 120, 150 days. I'm going to be at 150 days not long now. And I'm going to report back to you. And I'm going to tell you how I feel. And when I get to 6 months, I'm going to tell Mitch, I'll go carnivore, that that I'm now in his 6-month carnivore club. And then he will turn around and say, you are correct. I love this video. He did a video called The Importance of Community. But it starts off quite slow, but the second half is really powerful. Because he talks about the hurricane and the storm to start with, and then he starts talking about the carnivore community. Look that video up. I'll try and remember to list it. But by the time I come out of work later, I may have forgotten, and I'm so sorry if I haven't put it in the description. A lot of things happen between me doing my video and uploading it later. But he says, you know, if you've done 6-month carnivore strict, be happy in the knowledge you are correct. And it makes me giggle when he says that. And I cannot wait to be able to say that I am a 6-month, absolutely strict, with no deviations, not one cheat taste, not one cheat meal, carnivore. And I'm adamant there's going to be some weight loss in there to tell you about as well. And so if I feel so fantastic, what pisses me off is when schools talk about needing carbohydrates for energy. Well, where is my energy coming from? Is it magic or something? Or as Phil Escott would say, is it effing magic or something? What am I running on right now? I haven't had a single carbohydrate for 128 days. What am I running on? Magic? Have I taken some magic elixir from the arse of a unicorn? No, my body's running on its body fat for fuel now. I can do a whole day with no problem. I do sleep very well at night. I do get to about 8:30 and I am conked out. And I sleep until about 5 in the morning. 4:30 this morning, I was raring to go. I looked at my clock and I thought, it's time to go. Is it time to get up yet? I'm like that. Is it time to get up yet? Is it time to get up yet? Really? And I've got used to it now. So, why will she never be carnivore? No. Cut that out if I remember. Why will she never be vegan, and why was she never vegan? I worked in a vegetarian shop full of lunatics. The word vegan wasn't even a thing then. See, the people that are the millennials, I'm going back to it now. The millennials that were born in, you know, from the year 2000 onwards, they don't realise that in the 90s and before, the word vegan wasn't written on any of the products. It's very hazy and it's a very grey area of when the actual word vegan actually became created as a thing, as a label, as a identity. It's very difficult to know. I'm not saying that no one was doing it. I'm just saying I don't think it was a label then. A promoted, you know, label that everyone thinks is a fantastic thing to do. A lot of people don't think it's fantastic, but still some people do seem to think that it probably is super healthy, but I couldn't do it. Don't. Just don't. And this one's always going to be a don't. I'm never going to eat any plant material ever again. You heard this correct. 20 years from now, I'm still going to be carnivore. You heard that absolutely correct. And I am really excited. And the last bit I want to talk about is fate. Does anyone believe in fate? It feels like a couple of things are happening all at the same time. It feels like all at the same weekend, I got my first weight loss that looked like fat. I decided to cut down my hours at work, and I got my special email from YouTube saying I've just become monetized. And it happened all on the same kind of 2 or 3 day bracket. It feels like fate. And because it feels like fate, I am going to run with it like crazy. So if anyone thinks this channel is about to go smaller or fade out, or I'm going to just get distracted and walk off from this, no. Things are about to get a lot more serious around here. I'm still going to be the same person. I'm still going to be doing the same kind of format in my videos, okay? You know, that kind of thing's still happening, but my weight loss journey now looks like it's taken a gear up. My channel looks like it's taken a gear up. My working hours, because this feels like fate, I feel like they're going to say yes. Please, please. But like I said, even if I don't have my work hours cut down, I'm still going to do this. It's just going to be a bit harder. It's like my carnivore journey. With the support or without the support, I'm still going to do it. It's just going to be easier or harder. Same thing with my channel. I've got some brilliant ideas that I want to do with my channel. And it's whether or not my hours get cut just determines whether it's just going to be easy for me or hard, but it's still happening. I've done my 20 minutes now. I don't know how that went. I did do a why can't I be vegan video. It was probably one of my very first videos. It was awful. I really don't recommend going back and looking at it because it really was pretty tragic. But it's there if you want to look at it. This one I think is more determined. But yeah, so we're going to have some sun. And so I'm going to try and enjoy that today. I've eaten a load of steak for breakfast. I don't want anything else until 4 o'clock. Well happy with that. Look out for my video on Sunday, which is going to be it's either going to be about a fat adaptation and I've lost weight, or it's just going to be some waffly video about some other random thing I found out about. And if you get some meat, eat it. If you've got some water, drink it. And doing your best looks different every day. Shout out to my friend Daphne Reloaded, who I've been watching her channel for years and years, and now she's watching mine. I am going to try and make you laugh every day if I can, Daphne. But I am just going to be myself. I'm just going to be myself, and people either like that or they don't. I can't make people like me. But take care of yourself, and thank you so much for listening. Let's see where this goes. Take care. Bye.